What's up, you guys? This is Deunta Red and Ray Podcast Show. Coming to you guys, you know what I'm saying, on some random stuff right now. I'm talking about the trans shooter that shot at the church, Brandon Johnson in Chicago, how the president sent the troops in to make sure Chicago stays safe. Brandon Johnson and the government going against it makes no sense. And just been diving into a lot of stuff. So work with me. Hope you enjoy the show. So I'm gonna start with this, with the Meet the Press, talking about how the situation happened with the transgender shooter. And it's crazy how that all these trans, they shooting all these Christian places up. They won't do a Muslim place, you know what I'm saying? They go to a Christian place and shoot that up. Because they know, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if anybody know if you a person that's gay and you might be Muslim, they'll throw you off a roof, they'll kill you, cut your head off type shit. Um, this is just sad. But yeah, this is episode 12. I'm excited. I've been gone for a few months. Miss you guys, but I'm back. And I'm trying to keep coming with more and more hits, more of my opinion, more reactions to different things. You know, sometimes I not react to politics all the time. I react to just different stuff because, hey, it's my channel. I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's go ahead and start with this, what you guys already heard, because it's about a few days ago when this happened.
Welcome to Meet the Press Now. I'm Gabe Gutierrez in Washington as we continue our breaking news coverage of that deadly mass shooting at a Catholic church full of elementary and middle school students. As you just saw, we just got an update from Minnesota elected officials, clergy, and law enforcement officers. 2 children were killed in this shooting and 17 other people, including 14 children and several elderly parishioners, were.
Why you just kill yourself? You know, he shoot all these people, hurt him and injured or died, and he should have killed himself. He killed himself at the end. After he did all the dumb shit, then he want to take himself out. Come on, man. Leave these kids alone. Leave these innocent people alone. If you have mental illness, talk to God, reach out, ask questions, do some research. Stay off TikTok. Stay off all these certain platforms. Just to stay off of them. Pray for God for us, the discernment to get you from these things. It's crazy, you know. That's sad.
Injured. Police say the shooter was armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol, and that the shooter fired from outside of the.
How you get all that equipment? All these gun laws out here, especially Minnesota, Illinois, New York, but this guy got all that equipment, all that firepower. That stuff costs thousands of dollars, $30 or more for some of these bullets. This stuff ain't cheap. So you can make all the gun laws you want. You can check all the prices up all you want. These people be able to find a way to afford these weapons. So we gotta do better, people. And it starts at home with the parents. Because this dude had a video of him with all his weapons sorted out, written different stuff on it, saying kill Trump and just different crazy demonic stuff he read on these weapons, on these gun casings, and it's just sad. And the parents didn't know about nothing about this. All this is going on at home. He's recording. He wrote letters and all this type of stuff, manifesto. The parents didn't know. That's crazy.
Church through a window at the children attending the school mass. Here's the police chief in this morning's briefing, and then just moments ago.
This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church full of children is absolutely incomprehensible. Police officers from the Minneapolis Police Department immediately responded, entered the church, and attempted to provide first aid and rescue some of the children that were hiding throughout the building, while other first responders came and EMS responded to rush victims to nearby hospitals. 2 young children, ages 8 and 10, were killed where they sat in the pews. The coward that shot these victims took his own life in the rear of the church. That coward has been identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman, no prior criminal history. As to the weapons used to perpetrate this horrific attack, there was a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. All three had been lawfully purchased by the shooter. At this stage, we believe that the shooter had acted alone. There is no indication of other suspects directly involved in carrying out this attack.
And as students were being reunited with their families after the shooting, a fifth grader approached reporters with his parents and grandparents. He described in harrowing detail the moment the shots rang out and how his friend shielded him from the bullets. We want to warn you that this child's first-hand account of what he experienced.
Check out this screenshot of my credit score. Just a few months.
Forgive me for that. That's I gotta get YouTube Prime or Premium, I should say. I'm gonna get it. My bad for that.
It was like shots fired, and then we kind of like got under the pews. It kind of they shot through and it was really scary. And then we went to the gym, and then the doors locked just to make sure he didn't come. And we waited in the gym for more news, and everyone was okay. My friend got hit in the back. Yeah, he went to the hospital.
Of course he went to the hospital. Well, come on, man.
I was super scared for him, but I think now he's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get reunited with your parents?
Yeah, my mom was waiting outside of.
Very, very sad. Very sad. Like I said before, mental illness is a real thing. It's real, and it needs to be addressed. Stop just brushing it off, giving out hormone blockers or whatever crap y'all give these kids, or these adults supposed to be in prison want to get these hormone blockers too. They want to pay for it and all that. Y'all need Jesus. This world needs Jesus. Jesus is real. Put God first. Pray. Get the Bible. Bring it out. Pray. Pray. Get on your knees and pray. I'm not perfect myself. I quit drinking. It's going on 5 months now. No alcohol, period. Let it go. Stop. Just don't need. I had my fun. 42, about to be 43 in November. So I forget it. I had my fun with it. Besides, I like to talk, and I want to be more truthful when I say and not intoxicated when I talk to people. Yeah. I'm getting another reaction. Like I said, I'm just being Red and Raven, episode 12. Miss you guys. Let's react to this. This is Sky News Australia. The lefties losing it. And I think it's about the CNN panel tripping about Stephen Miller, talking he's a racist, white supremacist, but he's a Jew. People are just retarded.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It. Let's begin with an important message from this young woman who probably doesn't identify as one.
Hey, I'm here
What
and I'm genderqueer.
the blank is that?
We all need to remember that free Gaza, trans rights are human rights.
God, I hope that's parody. Now to the Democrats' love of criminals, gangbangers in the country illegally. They're now singing songs about this
I got my
bizarre
screen right here. I'm going
infatuation.
to put it over here. So if I look this way, and then I can move the screen.
You can't have him drunk. No! Kilmar is our neighbor. You can't have him drunk.
It's quite catchy, isn't it? Let's check in on actor Alec Baldwin. He's taking a break from making humiliating videos with his weirdo wife to opine about Donald Trump tackling crime in DC. Apparently, taking on rampant crime is crazy.
What's going to happen next is Trump going to federalize the New York City Police Department. What's after that? Chicago? LA?
What the blank do Alex Baldwin got to talk about? Dude, you shot a woman point blank on a movie set. A movie set that's supposed to be fake, not real. But somehow reason you got a real bullet in and you shot her. And you talking about Trump is this and that. Dude, you a murderer. Trump didn't kill nobody. You are a murderer, bro. Man, that's amazing.
Miami, Boston, and on and on. What's after that? The NFL, the NBA, you're going to federalize them and take them over?
Wow.
All he wants to do is deflect from his
The Trump derangement has to stop.
by these bold, insane moves. Take over DC police. That's not what I need. I don't need this police to be taken over. I need to get the tariffs over with, to get the war over with. I need to get the Gaza thing over with. And after that, we have something else we have.
He looks more hobo than Hollywood these days. That is a deeply unhappy man. Now to CNN, where Tiffany Cross casually calls White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller a white supremacist. And shame on host Abby for not jumping in when this ugly defamatory smear was used.
Really quickly, Abby, because anytime that we play something from Stephen, journalistic integrity to point out that he is a white supremacist and he is the
see what I'm saying? Amazing, just amazing. How she get away with it? Abby Phillips, this is her show supposedly. No fact check, don't let her just rant and rave on bullshit. And the guy next to her, he should have some more balls to break it down. Don't let her disrespect you like that. Not because she's a black woman or one period. That she won't let you talk, and everything she's saying is a lie. It's bullshit. I think she was fired before, but you know, they gotta recycle somebody to cause the controversy.
brainchild behind this policy. That's not my opinion. That's actual facts. And for him to purport lies from the Oval Office as a white supremacist, it should be pointed out.
Disgusting antics there from CNN. Hope he doesn't sue you, love, because you don't have a leg to stand on. And what weird behaviour for a white supremacist to be saving the lives of black folk in DC, because they are the biggest beneficiaries of the law and order crackdown, a point that this next gentleman makes.
How come in the past 11 days since President Trump has federalized the DC Metro Police, no black individual has been unalive? And that's a stat that says.
You hear that? You hear that?
In the past 7 years in DC, that black people are 112 times more likely to be unalived than white people. So if Black Lives Matter, the left, Democrats, progressives, how come you all are not celebrating that no black person has been unalived in the past 11 days in DC since Trump took over?
Yep, the biggest beneficiary of Trump cleaning up DC are the locals. Even though more than 90% of them are Democrats, they are beginning to understand what a massive achievement it has been to tackle this problem head on.
People don't understand how big of a deal this is because the Capitol is right there within like a 6 or 7 minute walk. And then also local residents, they did not like walking there, whether in the daytime or the evening. Some people would take taxis just to avoid.
I've been to Washington, D.C., the Capitol, a few times, and it was a shithole. It's like the White House is perfectly clean, preserved, it was a point. But outside them gates, it's homeless people with signs from the 80s and the 70s. They old, they stink, they was bums. They're just it wasn't just right. It was not right at all to see that as at the White House. these people not to be camping around in front of the White House like that. Yeah, to visit and all that, but to be living right there by the gate, trash, manure, it was bogus. So hard to see for the White House. I'm glad it's getting cleaned up, and nobody is dying. Once again, I'm from Chicago. I live in Rockford now, going on 2 years. So I really can't speak for everything in the last 2 years that happened in Rockford, but I can go by what I've seen and heard from people that still live there, which is my relatives and good friends of mine. So then on Facebook, it's called Chicago to Ghetto. He posts, or he or she posts on Facebook what's going on. And these areas I must have walked through, lived in, and they killing each other, shooting at each other. They're not killing each other, they're hurting each other. And the police presence is needed because they're killing each other. They're not helping each other, they're killing. Hello. So yeah, more police is necessary. And stop this whole defund the police. Fund the police. Fund them. And give them more training. That's number one. They need more training. Yeah, fund the police for more training. You know, stop being a robot. Just more training.
Any type of encounters. And people have been talking about cleaning this up for a decade. And you mean to tell me President Trump hasn't even had control for 30 days and he cleaned it all up?
Yep, they've been talking about it for decades, but it took Trump to actually do it. Now, a little fact checking. Let's go to the mental health facility masquerading as a news organisation known as MSNBC. And inmate anchor Joe Scarborough thought he had a real gotcha here. When discussing violent crime in the US, he thought he could confuse his already dim-witted audience with some stats about Republican cities being more dangerous than Democrat strongholds. It's, of course, a massive lie, but when has that ever stopped MSNBC?
7, 8 of the top 10 deadliest cities in America. Big cities are usually in red states. If you look at, Gavin Newsom and the speaker sort of had a back and forth this weekend. Speaker Johnson's home state of Louisiana, 400 times more likely. You're 400 times more likely to be killed in Louisiana than you are in California. Certainly nothing you ever hear in the right-wing sort of blogosphere.
Yeah, you may not hear that among the right wing, Joe, because it's a pack of verifiable lies. Louisiana having a murder rate 400 times higher than California. Just a flat out lie. You're either really, really bad at maths or you're lying. Take a pick. Now, if you want to know why Louisiana has a high crime rate, then you only need to look at the cities where the crime is happening. Are they Republican strongholds? Well, of course they're not. Surely Joe or Mika would mention that important fact to their dwindling audience. He's about to get specific here.
Specifically, the chances of being killed or of having violent crime done to you or your family member is so much higher. The percentages in Monroe, Louisiana, which is the Speaker's district, Shreveport, Louisiana, which is in the Speaker's district, New Orleans, Louisiana, which is in the Speaker's home state.
Okay, let's do a little fact checking. So you mentioned 3 cities in Louisiana having terrible crime rates, terrible rates of violence. True, but are they Republican strongholds or Democrat cities? Just because the state is Republican doesn't mean the big cities are. Indeed, America's biggest cities have become dominated by the Democrats, and it shows. He mentioned New Orleans, well, terrible crime rate and terribly run by Democrats, not Republicans, Joe. Less than 35% of New Orleans voted for Trump last year, and New Orleans has been Democrat-run for more than 100 years. How are you blaming Republicans for that? Indeed, the last Republican mayor was elected in 1870. As for the other 2 cities he named there, well, they too have suffered from Democrat rule. Monroe is over 60% black, and only last year they elected an independent mayor after decades of Democrat rule. The only Republican-led city named there by Joe is Shreveport, but that mayor was only elected in 2022 after decades of continuous Democrat rule. But the MSNBC misinformation didn't end there. Listen to Joe name more Democrat-run cities that he says are proof that Republicans are bad at law and order.
Little Rock, Arkansas, home of course, Tom Cotton and some very conservative governor. Bessemer, Alabama, right there in Birmingham. Again, you know, what's Tommy Tuberville doing? Why is crime so bad?
Little Rock, Arkansas, and Bessemer, Alabama. There is two trump cards. Little problem there, Joe. Arkansas, my home state, may be Republican, but Little Rock is very much Democrat. Yep, see how.
So that's you know, I love Sky News. They always come with it. You know, it's amazing how you can watch other news from other country to give you news about your country, vice versa. Amazing. Yep. Let's see another reaction. This is from the mayor of DC. She, I think, admitting that crime is down since Trump came. Let's see and let's hear. Let's react.
Ever wondered what your home looks like from space? Enter your address and get a 3.
Want to get your take, but she's criticizing the presence of immigration agents and National Guard troops. At a press conference yesterday, Bowser thanked officers and reported an 87% decrease in carjackings, as well as a 15% drop in overall crime. That's just in the 20 days since the federal takeover began. Greatly has been able to do in this city. We know that when carjackings go down, when youth goes down, when homicide or robbery go down, neighborhoods feel safer and are safer.
They come outside.
So surge has
they
been
buy
important
things.
to us for that reason. But Bowser went on to explain that the presence of masked immigration officers and National Guard soldiers from other outlets was not helping.
What we know is not working is a break in trust between police and community, especially with new federal partners in our community. We know having masked ICE agents in the community has not worked, and National Guard from other states has not been an efficient use of those resources.
I'm devastated by people living in fear. I think you know very clearly how I feel about our nation needing comprehensive immigration reform, about the Congress establishing a pathway to citizenship for hardworking people who came to this.
Yeah. So number one, she gave Trump his props. DC needed help, and she knows that. And not just DC, Chicago, New York, LA. Trump is not a king. He was selected. He was elected. He was elected. We voted for him. You know, unlike the Democratic Party, twice they bumped Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden out and put two females to prop them up, and didn't work. I don't think there was any primary for the Democrat Party. They just threw people up there. Here, vote for this. Wait a minute. Can we get some more research on this people? Can we have them vote more, talk more? What's going on? What they believe in? You know? Amazing. And then also, we need to keep our guns in America. I'll take a tab out this whole gun violent trash. Stop it. The gun can sit on the table all day. It's just the person who gets the gun and does the dumb shit with it. And
motion detected at the GMT 1.
Keep our guns. I don't trust the government. That's the whole point of having our guns as American, to stop the government from trying to go being tyranny. So yes, keep our guns. And if Trump was a king or whatever you want to call it, he had to try to take our guns away. Or he mentioned about guns. He not one thing mentioned about taking people's guns away. So that's number one. The Democrat Party want to take the guns away. Seems like more like a king to me. And You know, let's see what else. It's just sad how people don't want protection. I know in the past, the blacks, my people, ancestors, when I'm called, they had they problems with the cops back then. But now that's not the case right now. It's not. If you smoking weed and throwing stuff out your car and the cops see you behind you, they're gonna pull you over. But if you're driving sensibly and not swerving and not changing lanes and you put the signal on, likely they're not gonna pull you over. And if they do, just comply. Yes, yes, no. You're gonna call it yes, sir, no, ma'am, yes, yes, yes. Just simple no and yes. You have the right to ask them a question. Yes, you have the right to ask for the sergeant, but if you know you're in the wrong, just comply. If you're not in the wrong, still comply, because chances are you can do the right thing, and if they in the wrong, guess what? You can sue them and get your money and become a millionaire. But you guys just want to go ahead and just don't want to listen. I've been put through many a times. Yes, no, yeah, I should have tried. All right, went home, no problems. And then they don't want to, like DC, how this reporter in DC, she talked about how she got pistol whipped when she was 23, and she was wished that the guards was there to protect her. So now the guards are there, she feels safe, she feels protected, she's happy. No complaints. Let's look for some Chicago stuff. People in Chicago are happy that Trump is bringing the troops in. I think it's the group called Chicago Flip Red. And I have a podcast called Chicago Red Pill Podcast with Bame and Deontay. And we got like 42 episodes. We need to record soon. It's been a while. But yeah, Chicago Red Pill Podcast with Bame and Deontay. It's about the same thing about how we became conservatives, how we like Trump policies. I'm believing don't kill the kids, kill the rapists, or get an adoption. The kid is somebody that can raise a kid, have the money, financial, and respecting and goals. Make sure the kid is raised right. And hopefully keep in contact with you as a parent if you get your child up for an adoption. It's not that hard. Let's see, what's this right here? Let's see. It's about 4 months ago. I'm just going to play it. This from Forbes News. Commercial.
What if you can create your own website?
Without objection, the unanimous consent.
I currently live in Florida.
Oh, in Florida. Well, I can't say that I blame you. Ms. Carter Walters, where do you live?
Chicago.
So you're living with the problems created by the policies that have been advocated by officials like Major Franklin, who has since fled those conditions. And do I pretty much have that correct?
Yes, it's funny because most of the people who leave Chicago, they usually leave to and go to a red state, but yet still they advocate.
Well, as Major Franklin has, you funds to support the illegal population. Ms. Carter Walters, why do people in Chicago put up with that?
Well, I think that we know that we can see what's happening and we know something is wrong, but just usually say that's just how it goes in Chicago. But now we have Chicago Flips Red, who's standing up to the corruption and saying no more.
The Democrats say that a city that refuses to enforce federal law should nevertheless continue to receive federal law enforcement funds, presumably so that they can divert them.
So yeah, make sure I said it correctly. Chicago Red Pill Podcast with Bame and Deontay. That's my first podcast, and I got this one solo. But yeah, let's continue. And also like and subscribe. I'm on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Cast, all those podcast channels you listen to. I'm on them.
Support the illegal population. Does that make any sense to you? No, to me either. Sheriff Wagner, we've heard from the Democrats and their witness that sanctuary laws make our communities safer by releasing criminal professional opinion.
I think it's wrong. I think we need to assist.
Do these sanctuary laws make our cities safer or less safe?
Less safe.
But the Democrats say that people in the immigrant community are more likely to report crimes in saying, if I knew a bad neighbor after I've reported, I think I'd be a lot less likely to report it, not more. What's your view?
I agree.
Ms. Carter Wallers, what's your opinion?
Excuse me?
Do sanctuary laws make our cities more safe?
Not even a question. They must be stopped. Full speed ahead.
All right. So the Democrats and their witness tell us that we're safer if we release criminals back into our communities. The Republicans and their witnesses say the opposite. I think I'll just let that speak for itself. Sheriff Wagner, the Democratic witness testified that honoring an ICE detainer is unduly burdensome. Do you agree?
I don't believe they are.
Well, how does an ICE detainer differ from having to track down and arrest a criminal alien once they've been released under these sanctuary policies?
It's hard to go after them and a lot more dangerous.
So the ICE detainer simply basically requires a phone call to ICE saying we've got 15 seconds.
I couldn't time it, but
and then once that individual
inherently take on a huger risk. I mean, and that's just the reality.
Sorry about that.
What we deal with in law enforcement, not just ICE agents, everybody in law enforcement.
So obviously it risks the lives of our law enforcement officers. What does it do to innocent bystanders?
It's increased for everybody. That's just the reality.
But that 15-second phone call is just too
Lost some
burdensome
audio,
to
a
these
few
woke
seconds
public
probably.
officials.
We'll let you comment on that.
The ranking member tells us that the association that represents big city police chiefs supports sanctuary policy. Sheriff Wagner, who appoints these big city police chiefs?
As far as I'm aware, they're done by a mayor or a council.
Basically woke Democratic officials.
Correct. Well, I shouldn't say.
Go woke, you go broke. Like Cracker Barrel. That silly stuff there. Leave the logo alone. Let it stay like it is. So what is a white man leaning against a barrel? Bring back Aunt Jemima, bring back Uncle Ben, bring back all the old stuff that we had. Who cares if they was racist back then? Those are then, this now. Forgive them. Move forward. Put God first. Come on, y'all. I'm going to do another episode 13. I'm going to do a back-to-back episode. Just want to get this out there. Episode 12. I love you guys. Like, subscribe. Put God first. Love yourself. Love your friends.